Hello and welcome back. Today is Monday, November 30th. Let's talk about what you are doing for today. As I mentioned last week, since last week was a pretty simple week, a catch-up week, and an opportunity for you to make up any zeros that you had in the grade book. Many of you did that, which is awesome. I went ahead and updated your grade. For those of you who did not take that opportunity, you can still go back and make up that work. You just need to, as I explained, email me with a list of the assignments with the name of the assignments to me, so then I can go back in and grade those and update your zeros to a grade that you earned. Now, moving on, we're onto a normal-ish week because we are still going to have vocab words this week. You haven't had to do that there for a while since we had a unit test a couple weeks ago and just had a 2-day week last week. So I will tell you right now, you have quite a few words this week because we are going to be going over 3 different lessons. Normally we either only do 1 or 2. However, this week we're going to be playing a little bit of catch up and trying to get through 3 different lessons. Each of these lessons have a common theme, which is about Earth's structure. You have 14 vocab words this week. Speaking of that, before I forget, you need to make sure that you can have 3 different options now for your science notebook. If you would rather do like what we did before we switched to this hybrid or e-learning plan and write each of those vocab words down in your notebook, that's perfectly fine. However, I'm not going to see all of you every single day, so you need to make sure that you take a picture of that with your phone or with your Chromebook and not email me that photo, because that's just going to go in my trash in the email, because I received a bunch of those and I'm trying to email for questions and for makeup work. So please upload that to the spot that I have for you on Google Classroom. It's just going to help me out a lot. I'm sort of an organization freak, so please help me out before my brain explodes and upload that to Google Classroom so I can go there to that one spot and grade that for you. If you need help with that, please email me for that, and I'll be happy to show you that. But anyways, 14 words. You can either write it in your notebook as I was explaining. You can use the Jamboard, which I know is frustrating for some of you. If you don't want to use that, I'm not going to force you to. If you would rather do it on a Google Slide and just create a slide for each one, or a Google Doc, that's totally fine as long as you're getting the idea. You still need to have the word, you still need to have the definition, and you still need to draw a picture or use each word in a sentence. Has always been the rule, especially for those of you who had me last year. You understand that that's the assignment. Many of you have enjoyed doing it on your Chromebook more than the notebook, but that might not be true for all of you. So that's why I wanted to give you that opportunity. Now, moving on, you see here that we have our warm-ups. Remember that each of those are still worth 5 points, so continue to do that, and don't miss out on those relatively easy points, in my opinion. And then number 2 here, you can see that it says read lesson 1. Because we're trying to cover 3 different lessons, you're going to have a similar assignment on 3 different occasions this week. But today we're focusing on lesson 1, which can be found on page 196 to page 201, and you're going to be answering the questions on the red page on page 202. It's just questions 1 through 8. I have also, following me going over our warm-up today, have some hints listed for you. If you have a hard time before emailing me, stick around, pause it on that portion of the video, so then you can take a look at those hints and see if those help you before asking a friend or before emailing me. So let's move on to our warm-up here. It says conclude how Earth was formed. You can find that on page 199 as well as right here. It says, how did Earth form? It says Earth formed about 4.6 billion years ago, so a really, really long time ago. Along with the sun and the rest of our solar system, materials from a large cloud of gas and dust came together, forming the sun and all of the planets. In order to understand how this happened, how did they come together? Well, because of gravity. So that's why it goes into here talking about gravity. So gravity is the force that every object exerts on all other objects because of their masses. The greater the mass, the greater the gravity. The force of gravity between 2 objects depends on the object's masses and the distance between them. The more mass either object has, or the closer together they are, the stronger the gravitational force. And then you can see that on figure 3 if you flip to it in your online textbook. Now, we've discussed how you weigh a different amount on different planets. That's simply because the mass of each different planet is going to be different. That's why you might weigh a lot more on a particular planet than another, because the gravity is going to be much greater and you're going to be pulled down more to that planet. Now, what do you need to write for your warm-up? Well, right up here in this first paragraph, it says materials from a large cloud of gas and dust came together, forming the sun and all the planets because of gravity. So there's your answer. So part of that sentence, as well as mentioning the word gravity, is what I'm going to be looking for to then give you your full credit. Now, following me talking here, stick around and look at the hints. Again, just to make sure that you're answering each of these questions successfully, as well as reading through this lesson. It's not a race. I know some of you try to get done with it as fast as you possibly can, but please take your time on this, because at the end of this week, you will be having your vocab quiz as well as a chapter quiz. So please read through this lesson, and it will help you out a lot more at the end of the week. So use the hints following me now, as well as stick around for the very end of the video to make sure that you have turned in everything that you need for today, so you don't get any more zeros in the grade book. Let me know how I can help, but enjoy the rest of your Monday.